Welcome to the 8-Bit Show. I'm Hekla Petursson, and I promise this headpiece is topical. One of my favorite things about Richmond is that the people here show up for the arts and they go all out on the events. This group is no different. Today, I'm talking to RVA Krampusnacht about the 2 weeks of events they have going on that are focused on holiday folklore. I'm obsessed. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Now, you, in part, founded RVA Krampus in 2013. Tell me a little bit how it started.
That's right. Myself and Parker Galore started this wild ride in 2013. I had seen a few Krampuslofts from Austria being posted on YouTube and really got into it and just kind of threw out a little message to the interwebs, into the ether, if I were to do this in Richmond, would anyone want to? And Parker responded right away, totally on board, let's make it happen, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. I feel like Richmond is the place for this.
Yeah.
People love dressing up and getting into the spirit here. So you have a lot of events going on, but before we get to the events, can you tell me a little bit about what Krampus is and what Yuletide is? Because they're going to come up when we talk about them.
Sure. So Krampus himself is a Bavarian European tradition, and he is sort of the anti-Santa Claus, is the very simple way that you can, kind of the elevator pitch for Krampus. While St. Nicholas, not the Santa Claus that we're used to, St. Nicholas would give presents to the children who were well-behaved. Krampus would come and deal out punishments for the children who were misbehaved.
Ooh. So kind of the scarier part of the children's folklore.
Yes, which was one of the things that really appealed to Parker and I, because here in the U.S. we kind of had gotten rid of a lot of the darker side of the holidays, especially wintertime. And you mentioned, what is Yuletide? It's this the darker half of the season of the year, which is completely natural to have. We have less light and we have less time to do things. It's colder, it's darker, and it's kind of the time when everyone goes inside and huddles together.
Yeah.
But it kind of has become, in the US, we didn't want to look at that, and we wanted everything to be merry and bright and Coca-Cola Santa Claus. And even if you were naughty, you'd get presents anyway, and none of the consequences for actions were being addressed, and it was very capitalism everywhere.
Yeah.
So it really appealed to us to see what happens when you add this back in to your world, and I think a lot of people resonated with that.
Yeah. I know one thing that a lot of people have brought up on the internet when they see these events is that it feels scary. Like we've said, it's dark, but it's not anti-Christmas, and it's not a
No,
religious
not at all.
movement.
No, it's certainly not a religious movement, and it's not anti-Christmas, especially in Austria, southern Germany, Czechia, places where this happens, and has happened for a long time. There are pagan roots to it, but the way that it is celebrated now, the tradition as it stands today, is part of their Christian Christmas traditions. So when we celebrate it, we don't attach any religion to it. We are interested in the folklore of this amazing tradition and sharing that folklore with everyone. We invite everybody of all ages and all walks of life to participate.
Yeah. Well, so let's get on to the events that you have, because
Yeah.
there are a full 2 weeks of them. I'll put the list up on the screen because it is so exciting and a lot of fun. Tell me a little bit about what you have going on.
Sure. We have more this year, I think, than we have. Every year I say this. We have more this year than we ever have before. And starting it off, kicking it off with Madame Ansa, who is a wonderful performer in Richmond and artist. Ansa is going to be giving a cryptid spirits talk, and
Ooh.
spirits and spirits.
Yeah.
So have a cocktail at RVA in Carytown, and that's on December 1st. And kicking it off, kind of letting people know, giving them a general overview of the folklore of not just Krampus, but lots of other Yuletide monsters as well. I don't know if you heard, but we are changing the name of our parade portion of these
Yes.
events, which I'm going to get to in a second, but we're changing it from the Krampus Walk to the Yuletide Monsters Parade because, in truth, it never was a traditional Krampus Walk or Krampuslauf, as they would call it in Austria. It's always going to be a little bit different. So we have also started adding in folkloric characters from winter traditions all over the world. And so that's what Ans is going to touch on, kind of give you an overview of what is this crazy thing? Why do we do this? Learn some of the folklore behind it. That's on December 1st. December 2nd and 3rd are both at Gallery 5, and they're mask making nights with Stephen Warwick, who's an amazing artist who did the art for our poster this year.
Which looks amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful mask maker. His costume's amazing. There's a picture of him up right now. And he is going to show you how to make a Krampus or Yuletide monster, whatever monster you choose, mask. It's 2-part workshop. And then we're going to have, Britt Austin, another local artist, is going to be doing a drink and draw at Gallery 5. That's for their community care night. So that is a free event. There is, Chiaroscuro is going to be our model for that, so it's live drawing.
Very exciting.
And then first Friday kickoff, the Yuletide Monsters art opening, which we do every year at Gallery 5 from 5 p.m. to 11, and that's the big first Friday celebration. There'll be live music, there'll be an art opening, vendors. Saturday is the Holidays Market, the Yuletide Monsters Parade in Carytown, and the Krampus Ball after
Wow.
party.
A
So we've
lot.
got a packed Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the following week, we've got brunch the next day, Sunday at Blackheath Meadery. Get your picture with Krampus. Get on the naughty list while you can. And Madame Ansa is doing another event at Reveille in Carytown, making Yuletide crafting DIY cards for the Yuletide. So she's amazing at linoleum block prints.
Ooh, that's really cool.
So I really want to go to that one. It's gonna be really fun. We have a Midwinter Spirits RPG game that's happening at One Eye Jack's, and Red Vein Haunted Christmas at Hanover Vegetable Farm. Red Vein Army puts that on. They transform their haunt every year into a Christmas haunt. So you can go to that. That's only 2 days, Friday and Saturday. And then the last thing on our list, but certainly not least, is Synergy Tattoo is having a Yuletide Monsters Flash Day.
Very excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I'll spring for a Krampus tattoo. I don't know if I'm ready.
So these are all extremely unique holiday events. Where I'm from, Maryland, and we didn't have anything similar to this, and I am so excited to jump in and be surrounded by this world of creatures and celebration. Let's jump in more into what the Yuletide Monsters Parade is, because the events that day are huge, but I think one of the most popular is the parade down Carytown, which is packed.
Yeah, that is the star of the show. And that is, we welcome anyone to come and participate in that. We have a list of rules up on our website and our event page on how you can participate safely. And because we don't shut the street down, so we do want to be safe about walking on sidewalks and things like that. We have a St. Nicholas and 2 angels every year that lead the parade. We're going to gather up in your Krampus or Yuletide monster from anywhere costume. Bring your costumes. Bring your bells, noisemakers, drums. We love to make a lot of noise. We're going to gather at Aquarium Bookshop on Thompson Street in their parking lot. And we've got the Crafty Hobbit who has some vending some costumes if you need last minute additions to your costume.
Oh, that's cool.
We've got someone reading tarot, and we've got a food truck with hot cider and donuts. So we're kind of making a little home base there at Aquarian, who has supported us from the very beginning. And we'll do our costume contest there. We'll go over like how all the rules are going to go, how we're going to march down the street, and then St. Nicholas leads the charge, and all the monsters follow.
That's so exciting. So, and this is a family-friendly event.
It is. I love to see. We actually have a costume contest for kids and 2 different prizes for adult costumes. So we love to see the kids dressed up as little monsters, little Krampuses, little Yule lads.
Yeah. I know I'm Icelandic, and I saw this morning on the Instagram that you had posted, part of the renaming of the what used to be called the Krampus Walk was that people were coming in as diverse monsters from different backgrounds and nationalities, and the Yule lads were a total shout out for me. I never hear anyone talk about them.
They're a little bit under the radar, but they're so cool.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, there was someone who had dressed up. They had spoons all over them. They knew the name of which Yule lad they were. It was so great to see.
That's so sweet. So dressing up's optional.
Yeah.
But if you do dress up, you can dress up as anything you're inspired to by Yuletide monsters.
Yeah, so we have always, when we started doing the art show, we opened it up and called it Yuletide Monsters because we wanted to showcase not just Krampus, and we wanted to give artists a little bit of a wider range that they could work with. And it just kind of makes sense now to start calling the walk that as well, because everyone is so creative in their costumes and they have so much folkloric inspiration to draw from. We just ask that you do stick to something from folklore from somewhere.
Gotcha.
And not just throw in some random Halloween costume. This is actually based in folklore of winter traditions.
That makes sense. So you can keep your like Monster High costumes at home.
Yeah, leave them at home, save them for Halloween. There is a place for that, but maybe not here. And if you don't feel like dressing up at all, if you just want to put on an ugly sweater, an ugly Christmas sweater or Krampus sweater, you can join in our walk, but we just ask that you stay behind everyone that's in costume.
I love it. And then the market and the ball, those two are also happening before and after the parade. Mm-hmm. Can you give me a little overview of those two?
Sure. I'm going to be so tired on Saturday.
Yeah, I bet.
So the market, our holidays market, happens every year at Gallery 5 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's only a small amount of curated vendors that have all of your creepy Christmas Yuletide needs. So we've curated it to lean towards that, and it's a good time if you haven't gotten out on the Friday before to see the art show. The gallery will be open, of course, so you can see the art show again as well. So we'll be doing that beforehand. People can go shopping. It is also the same day as the Christmas parade.
Ooh, wow.
So beware when you're trying to navigate the streets, and there might be some road closures.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Markster and DC Creators is hosting the Krampus Ball at Fallout RVA. Starts at 8 p.m. and goes until 2. And that is always a great time.
Yeah. And that one's the 18-plus night.
21 plus.
21 plus. Yeah. Okay. So you can bring your kids in the morning and the afternoon.
Yes.
But don't bring them to the ball.
That's right.
Because it's going to be boozy and fun.
It's going to be boozy. It's going to be dancing. It's going to be great. Most of our events are family friendly. Just check on the event pages. Make sure that it says, if it says 18 up or 21 and up, there's hardly any of those. So most of the time you can bring kids.
So then if people want to get involved and they want more info, where can they find you and all of these amazing events?
You can find us at RVA Krampusnacht on Facebook, Instagram, and our website is rvakrampus.com.
Sweet. Thank you so much for dressing up with me and
Absolutely.
telling everyone.
Thank you for dressing up with me.
I love it, and I will absolutely see you at the walk.
Yes, I'll see you there.
That was Nicole from RVA Krampusnacht. Be sure to check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and their website so you don't miss these super cool events. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm pretty excited. On December 6th, I'll be walking in the Dominion Energy Parade, and then the Yuletide Monsters Parade, and then the Krampus Ball. It's going to be the perfect day. A lot of these events will also include the Toys for Tots charity. So go have fun, do some charity work, make some friends, and feel the holiday spirit. I'm Hekla Petursson. You can find me on Instagram at the Hekla and on most social medias. And I'll see you in the next episode.